let's have a little fun. We have got Jeopardy questions and answers here for Buck Sexton. Last night on Jeopardy, these have gone viral.
Sports Jeopardy.
Sports, yes. Sports. Well, no, this is real Jeopardy.
Oh, really?
But they had a sports section, and things did not go well for the contestants on Jeopardy last night. By the way, would you like to do Celebrity Jeopardy? Assuming we were famous enough to do Celebrity Jeopardy, would you do it?
Oh, yeah. I'd run the table.
I'd love to do Celebrity Jeopardy. I wouldn't want to do regular Jeopardy. I think I'd get dunked on pretty significantly in regular Jeopardy. But I think for a celebrity, in quotation marks, if either of us were considered big enough
That
names.
was one of the greatest SNL sketches of all time, by the way, with Sean Connery. The pen is mightier. That's not what he said.
The rapist for 200. It's therapist. Remember, he would. That was amazing. Rest in peace, Sean Connery, by the way. All right, here we go. Buck Sexton. This is last night. Syndicated game show. By the way, they now have Mayim Bialik, I think is how you pronounce her name.
Mayim Bialik? Is that right?
Yeah, she's the host now?
Yeah, Blossom.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But she replaced Alex Trebek. So she is now the host. If you're wondering, who is this voice? Alex Trebek died recently, and Blossom from the show, for those of you who are around our age, from the show Blossom, Mayim Bialik is now the host. All right, here we go. We're going to pause it. You can play along in your cars as well. Let's go with cut 22. Here is the first one.
Multisport athletes 800. A few career highlights. He won the Heisman at Auburn, ran for 221 yards in one game for the Raiders, and was an American League All-Star.
Okay.
Nobody knew it. All right, so do you have a guess, Buck Sexton, for who this is?
I do. I think I know it, and I'll explain why I know it, though, because it's not because of sports. Bo Jackson?
That is, well, let's listen to the answer. Here's 22A, the answer.
Who is Bo Jackson?
There we go.
Boom, you got that one right. Why do you know it?
I know it because there was a cartoon, I think it was called Superstars, with Wayne Gretzky, Bo Jackson, and Michael Jordan. It was a Saturday morning cartoon, and I used to watch that cartoon, and I remember that Bo Jackson was the guy who, because, Wayne Gretzky only had his hockey stick, and obviously MJ had his basketball, but Bo had the football, the baseball bat, so that's why I knew that answer, just because that's the only three sports.
I had on my wall posters. One of my in the early 90s, late 80s, whenever it was, there's an iconic photo of Bo Jackson with a baseball bat on his shoulders on top of his shoulder pads. That is, I bet a lot of our listeners who are around our age remember that. All right, so Bo Jackson. By the way, one of the most devastating injuries in the history of sports, Bo Jackson getting tackled in a playoff game against, I believe, the Bengals as a running back for the Raiders, which destroyed his career because of a hip injury. All right, here is another one of the questions from last night that went viral. Here is cut 23 from Jeopardy last night.
Multisport athletes 1,000. Prime time. In 1992, this man here hit .304 with 14 triples for the Braves and picked off 3 passes for the Falcons.
Wait, Braves and Falcons?
Football and baseball, 1992.
I have absolutely no idea.
All right, let's go to the answer. Cut 23A.
Jackie. Who is Sanders? Yes, Deion Sanders.
I should have gotten that, actually.
Deion Sanders. All right, this one I think you're definitely going to get. Here is the final multi-sport athlete. Let's listen to this.
Multi-sport athletes for 2. He led the NBA in scoring 7 straight times, won 5 MVPs, and hit .202 for a minor league team in 1994, but let's not dwell on that.
I mean, Clay, I am an American. Who is Michael Jordan?
The reason we had to add that one, that's the lowest level of the Jeopardy. I was like, he might not get the first 2. We'll at least get him this one.
I appreciate it. That was that was a little bonus, a little consolation question.
I didn't think you'd get Bo Jackson. I thought you were going to whiff on Bo. Nobody on the show, by the way, got Bo Jackson. So everybody last night on Jeopardy missed Bo Jackson.
You may recall
and I thought you'd whiff those 2.
You may recall that Bo knows and Buck knows.
That was a great – they don't really have great ads campaigns like back in the day, right? Bo knows, Air Jordan. I don't even know what the best current athlete marketing camp. Can you even think of one that's really good that where you watch it and you're like, remember back in the day they had McDonald's with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and the Be Like Mike, the Jordan commercial for Gatorade.
I love the one with I remember this one with Dennis Hopper and Junior Seau, and he's on a beach or something. He's just like, Junior Seau, man, he's coming in like a freight train. Choo-choo.
I didn't even remember that.
Do you even know this
yes.
one? That's a real one.
Yeah, I remember it now. That was a great ad. I don't think they really have great sports ads anymore. I can't think of the last time I saw an ad. Of course, you don't see a lot of ads now because a lot of people watch streaming services with no commercials. But I don't remember the last time I saw an ad and I thought, oh, man, this is incredible. This is really fun. Actually, it's probably the Top Gun ad that we played earlier.
Well, it's a trailer,
I'm pretty fired
to be fair.
up. Yeah,
but like
trailer.
if you're talking about a commercial, like a commercial campaign, oh man, you know I do think these are we turning into those guys that are like, when we were kids, the ads were better, the cartoons were better, the movies were better, the music was better. Are we those people now?
Yeah, I mean, I think that is really.
I mean, I heard I had a long drive across Florida from Jacksonville to Tallahassee, and listened to some of the. And I was just like, many of the times in the top 40 radio stuff, I was like, what is this noise? It was not for me.
No, I think there's a strong argument that in terms of pop culture that everybody liked, I don't know that the 1980s are ever going to be topped. Now, there's a lot of great niche programming, right? If you are a fan of Sopranos or you're a fan of Game of Thrones or whatever it might be, but they're not something that everybody can sit down and watch together in the way that Indiana Jones and Star Wars and the Back to the Future films were. Those don't really, it seems to me, exist now anymore. Maybe the Marvel films.
I have been watching the Formula One show on Netflix, so we should talk about that
really
another
good,
time.
I've heard.
Because it's actually really good.